Hi, Leo Sun and Rising. Welcome to your May 2023 Astro Update. It's Raina here. Okay, well, I I did your reading, but I had to cancel it because I started talking about Aquarius, your opposite sign. I do that sometimes when usually it's when it's the opposite sign or something like that during the reading, and then I just start talking about the other sign. And then somebody writes to me and says, is this for this sign or that sign? So I'm a little bit pissed because it was a great recording, but it wasn't accurate. So I guess I should just be happy that I caught it in time. So May is a very active month. And for Leo people, this is going to be very important because Mars is going to go into your sign. And being a fire sign, that Mars energy is already, kind of baked into all of us fire signs. I'm a Sag myself, but that should really energize you even more so. And also, there's going to be a lunar eclipse in Scorpio, which is another fixed sign, but I'll talk about that in a second. First, I'm going to talk about May 1st when we have Pluto retrograding at 0 degrees and 22 minutes of Aquarius, your opposite sign. See, that's how I got sidetracked. And so, because it is only at 0 degrees of Aquarius, there's a very, very, very good chance that this is actually going to stick around in your sixth house of work. So I'm going to focus on that because officially on June 11th, it will go back into Capricorn. But like I say, I think a lot of you, it's going to be in this house the whole time. And we're going to have two retrogrades where Pluto goes back into Capricorn until November of 2024 when it permanently goes into Aquarius, and it will be in your seventh house for 20 years. I almost would like to joke and say, get married or, move in with somebody before then. Just kind of acting like, oh my gosh, for the next 20 years. If you meet somebody, how are they going to be? But that's actually not true at all. You could meet the person that is the most influential type of person that you ever meet in your lifetime, because Pluto has the power to transform, and that could be the person that is your life partner. Maybe you meet your soulmate. So I'm just semi-joking there. So in the sixth house, when Pluto goes retrograde here, it's really looking at the area of within yourself rather than whatever that house represents in an outer sense. So in the sixth house, we're talking about service to others. And the sixth house is also health. Okay, it's also your daily routine and pets, but basically I want to focus more on work because Pluto has been in the sixth house for 15 years. And I have a feeling that there are more than a few Leo people who may have switched over into careers that involve being a healer. Now, one of the things about being a healer that's a very important aspect to it is that you have to put your ego aside. It can't be about you. And even if you're doing something like what I'm doing, and maybe it comes across like I'm putting my ego into it, or at least when I say ego, I don't mean being narcissistic, but just, giving your personal opinions and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, of course, that's going to happen if you're doing something where you're actually interpreting something or whatever. I mean, you can't just be completely devoid of anything like that, any opinions or what have you, but you have to state them as opinions. You don't get carried away. You don't try to convince people that you have all the answers, because with Pluto, there's always the danger of being power hungry. And in the sixth house, oh, yeah, that's another thing too. The sixth house can be your office place. So you may have had even more than one situation where there were office politics, negative situations there, and you saw it as being persecuted, perhaps. And it is entirely possible that that's exactly what happened. But I would say, since you are a Leo and Leos are known for leadership ability, that what probably happened, because when Pluto entered your house, your sixth house, you may have really wanted to go into a position of power. So even your boss may have felt a little bit nervous, like, is this person trying to show me up? Are they trying to take my job or something like that? And, all of these things are, of course, subject to people's own insecurities, I suppose I would call it. It doesn't mean that it's reflecting on you. But by the same token, I think we do have to acknowledge if we are contributing to what is going on, because I always think of like the person who comes into the workplace and they are out working everyone, they're leaving after other people. And I actually had a situation where I was a teacher's assistant and there were two other teacher's assistants. And there was one teacher assistant who would always just linger after work hours. And it used to irritate me because I was always ready to just book. I wanted to get out of there as quickly as possible. And this person was always like kind of staying later. And I think it was just to suck up, to make it look like they were so diligent, you know what I mean? And, just like kind of, making it look good rather than just like being the first one out the door. Maybe that doesn't look too good. I didn't really give a damn, but I'm just saying that it just irritated me that person was like that. Well, that's kind of like this Machiavellian attitude, if that's what the person was doing, where they were trying to appear to be have this amazing work ethic so that they would move up the ranks. Maybe it's a very smart thing to do if you have your sights set on things. But I feel like sometimes there's so much scheming that goes on at a subtle level that it can rub people the wrong way. So what happens is, if you're the one who is maybe doing this, even somewhat unconsciously, the other coworkers could be like behind your back saying, who does she think she is? Or does he think he's all that just because he's doing that? And he's sucking up to the boss and all of that. And then they kind of form their own little clique where they can, talk about the latest thing that you've done that's so power hungry. But anyway, this is a time when you're going to be going within, and I was going to say being brutally honest. That's what came into my mind. I don't know if honesty is something that I would normally associate with Pluto. It's not really about honesty. It's about, I guess it is in a sense that you're not in denial over shadow aspects that are creeping in. But this can be something that you look at your situation and you say, okay, I have to stop blaming the outer world. I have to look at myself. And when, it has to do anything with work, that you're also really asking yourself, why am I doing this? Is it service to self or is it service to others? I also think that if you have had any health challenges, that this can be a time to really dig deeper emotionally and how that is contributing to your health as well. If you've obviously, hopefully if you've had health issues, you've, tried to improve them or sought professional assistance in healing on the outer level. But now it might be that if you have done that, that you have to look even further. On the 5th, we have a lunar eclipse at 14 degrees of Scorpio, which, it just feels so aligned with that Pluto retrograde, because Pluto is one of the rulers of Scorpio along with Mars. And a lunar eclipse feels scorpionic to me in and of itself, because it's connected to the idea of maybe secrets coming out, things coming to people's awareness that they were not aware of before. And for you, Leo, this is falling in your 4th house of home and family. So it's funny, when I said family, the time on the recording was 11:11. So this is something that, you've had some triggers to that 4th house already, and maybe there have been changes so far. This could be kind of like the final, I don't want to say blow, but if there is something that is ending, then that could be what is going on, and you are having to prepare for maybe selling a home. This could be with one of your parents. The 4th house could be the mother, and ending of some sort with that. Or, a culmination. Maybe you really understand what she has been through, even if you've had a difficult relationship with her, especially if you've had a difficult relationship with her. You're able to see her as she really is, and that provides you some sense of emotional relief, because you're no longer, blaming yourself or what have you. Also, this is the house of childhood, the past. So a lunar eclipse here can kind of put a sense of finality to maybe a traumatic event, or just, with Leos, you may have inner planets in Cancer, such as Mercury, Venus, or Mars, and your moon sign can be anything. So it could be, Cancer too. And the reason I say this, because Cancer rules the house of home and family, so it's dealing with the past and things of that nature, and it makes people very nostalgic. But sometimes it can be where people feel stuck because they feel like they can't really move forward, and for whatever reason. So that could help release all of that. On the 7th, Venus goes into Cancer, and that is your 12th house. So if you have met someone, Leo, and you're dating, you may be reluctant to introduce them to people in your life. And you may be kind of like, I wonder why I feel so reluctant. If you dig a little bit deeper, it may have something to do with wanting to not just have to share that person with others in terms of just spending as much one-on-one time with them. But I feel like, because the 12th house is the hidden house, it's like deliberately keeping somebody under wraps, maybe because you don't want other people's 2 cents about your relationship. You want to just keep that romantic thing going, that very, I don't know how you put it. I said romantic, but I was also thinking about reliable, which I thought was a strange word. I'm learning not to edit my thoughts, because I have the moon in Virgo, and I tend to, if I have something, I could be, maybe I'm having an intuitive hit in the form of a thought, but I'm like analyzing it and saying, well, that's not correct, but I'm just saying it out loud now. This could be meeting your soulmate, because the 12th house is karma, past life association. On the 14th, Mercury goes direct at 5 degrees 51 minutes of Taurus, which is almost 6 degrees of Taurus. And so this has been happening for the first half of the month. And this is going to be your 10th house of career. So for Leo people, there may have been some misunderstanding with a person in a position of authority. And this could also apply, I believe, if you were, like what do you call it? Interviewing for a job, for your career, or something along those lines. Mercury retrograde can be a period of rethinking something. So if you have been kind of not sure what you want to do with your life, you can have a great idea moving forward because you've been thinking about it so much. And now Mercury is direct and we don't have any more retrogrades of the planets in the second half of the month. So I like that. And actually, on the 16th, Jupiter goes into Taurus, and Jupiter is this benefic planet. So it really kind of turns the corner on that. So here we're going to start having these transits in Taurus, like Jupiter, and joining Uranus in the 10th house. So I think that this could just enhance the number of Leos who are being digital nomads and traveling quite a bit. Feeling, because Jupiter is about long distance travel, feeling freedom, and Uranus can be about freedom as well. This can increase your confidence in your abilities in your career or expand your career. I'm going to be doing, I don't know if I've done it yet, but I'm doing separate videos on Jupiter with all of the signs. So check my channel periodically for updates on whether or not I've done it yet. But yeah, it's just really great. I'm so glad it's in Taurus because it can be something that is very good for, money matters. Taurus rules the second house of earned income, after all, and is an earth sign, But so that's happening, and it could give you a wider name. The 10th house can be your reputation. On the 19th, we have a new moon here at 28 degrees of Taurus. And so it's in this 10th house, and it's all about new beginnings as it pertains to career matters, etc. So new directions in career. On the 20th, Mars goes into Leo. So Mars is in your first house, and that certainly can make you quite energetic, I guess I would say. Maybe you want to be more athletic, or you want to walk more or run again. And on the 21st, the sun goes into Gemini. So the sun follows those other planets and goes into this, or I shouldn't say follows these other planets. It actually is in the lead now of starting the ball rolling of personal planets transiting in Gemini. This is on May 21st, as I stated. And being an air sign, This is a trine kind of transit. This is in the 11th house of hopes and wishes, friendships and groups. This can make you very social right now. This can make you want to reach out maybe to friends and really, connect back with them. But I believe this could even have to do with networking, where the person wants to gain more political, professional type of connections to enhance your business or enhance your, if you work in a corporate environment, maybe they really encourage people to connect with others as well. Okay, this is what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. Take care. Bye.